So we have this super cute set, Too Wild. So this is the first coat, and then I'm gonna go over this, the Too Wild with this really pretty rose gold color. I haven't decided yet whether I'm gonna paint these green. I kind of like the way the white looks, but we'll kind of see how it goes. I'm gonna share with you a couple of my staple tools that I use. Whenever I'm decorating, I have my bags, and in each of these individual bags, I have icings that have two consistencies. So I have one that is specifically to do outlines. Usually that's thicker. And then I have one which is called a flood bag. And that's a thinner consistency, and that's what I use to kind of do the inside of the lines, the flood. So typically I have one bag of each color. Then we have this tool. This is called a scribe. I have a lot of different ones of these. I have thin ones, I have thick ones. This is basically just to move the icing around, pop any air bubbles. It's like my number one tool. I can't decorate cookies without one of these. At home though, if you don't have all of these fancy tools, a toothpick works really, really well. It's essentially the same thing. It's just a little thicker than this one. But this one is my thinnest, like kind of needle point, and it's my favorite. Another thing that I use are paint brushes. They're actually made by Wilton. So they're specifically made for pastry arts. In here, I don't know if you can see, but it looks kind of weird. I used luster dust to color this, and in here is actually neat vodka. So we use vodka. If you didn't know, there is actually alcohol in lots of different things that we use in baking, specifically vanilla. If you like vanilla in cookies or in cakes, it's got typically some kind of clear vodka, clear alcohol, usually vodka in it. That's how they make it. So we use straight vodka to paint on cookies. And this is actually the powder I use. So we just mix a little bit of vodka in there. And it looks kind of funky in here, but it gives a great rose gold metallic sheen to it. So the reason we use vodka is the alcohol burns off and it leaves a dry, touchable surface. So when I make sets that I'm gonna paint, the key is to make sure that it's dry, because if I go, even though the vodka does dry off, if I paint on it when it's wet, it'll just kind of dissolve the icing, and that's not what we want. So we want to make sure that these guys are nice and dry. Probably I'll wait and do these in the morning. I am going to write Too Wild, like this one, but with just a different script. So I'm going to do 2 in that kind of thicker font, the kind of thicker font that is literally just me freehand drawing on here. So you see how faint that is? It really doesn't show up all that much. And then if I make a mistake, I can actually just use some vodka and just kind of wipe that right off. Side note about the vodka. So I also often drink water while I'm decorating, and sometimes I put my water in the same cup or the same glass as I put the vodka. And one day I wasn't paying close enough attention and I hadn't used the vodka yet. And I picked it up and took a big old swig of straight vodka. And yeah, that was a really fun afternoon. Okay, so I have my bulky words here. And then I think what I'd like to do is something a little bit more stylized down here. So I'd like to do almost like a calligraphy wild. So let's go ahead and go ahead and write wild out. Perfect. When you're working with royal icing, I don't use tips unless I'm doing something very specific. This is what we call a tipless bag. It just means you can cut the end off it and use it right away. It dries out very, very, very quickly. So what I usually do is I just try and squeeze a little out. There we go. And it just kind of removes the blockage. I either do that or I'll just take this and I'll just kind of squeeze it and wipe the tip. And that just makes sure that I have a nice clean tip so that I can start piping. And like I said, like the outline that I wrote is kind of like a guide. Sometimes I might go like off the guide a little bit, but it's whatever I kind of feel like and whatever I feel will look best. Oh, what am I gonna do with this guy? So I think I'm gonna do some chevrons. I'm gonna do some chevrons up this side. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy pen out. I really do love this pen. I go through them so quickly though. Luckily you can buy them in bulk. So I usually buy them like 4 or 5 packs. And that kind of sees me through a couple months. Alrighty, what should we do on this one? I think another number 2 would be cute. So I do most of the drawing on cookies freehand. I mess up frequently. But like I said, there are always ways to fix your mistakes. So we'll finish this cookie and then I will bid you guys farewell. But this has been fun. I really enjoyed this. We should do it more often. Okay, how about this? Let's do some freehand writing without without the use of a marker. Are we ready? Okay. What a sweet cookie. You guys see that? So cute. Love it. All right, this one should be good to flood. Okay. All right, loves, have a good night. I'll see you soon, and I'll do this again sometime. Bye.